Hi, this is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're at OPASTCO in Seattle, and you know, one of the themes of Seattle, sleepless in Seattle. And we're with Cathrine Moyer of Pioneer Communications, also chair of OPASTCO. And you know, speaking of sleepless in Seattle, as chair of OPASTCO, what keeps you awake at night?
I think there's too many things that keep me awake at night. Obviously, the biggest issue right now with our industry is the national broadband plan that the FCC released. Gosh, now 4 or 5 months ago. I think that there's a lot of information contained in that 350 pages, and unfortunately some things are not maybe the best for us. They propose to get rid of rate of return regulation and go to incentive regulation. They propose to do some different things with the universal service. They don't grow the universal service fund at any point over the next 10 years. And we all know that you know, the support needed to get broadband out to rural America is tremendous. And so I think they've started maybe with a flawed assumption to begin with, and we've been working very closely with them to hopefully get to a point that we can get comfortable with this plan. I think we all realize that status quo isn't what works, but in the same light, we've got to work something meaningful to fix the problems that we have.
And one of the things you suggest, I mean, there's a lot of things coming out, MPRMs, and there's legislation. In your keynote, you talked about the importance of, you know, getting together as associations, as telcos, and really working together.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. You know, somebody said to me, there's nothing like having a loaded gun held to your head to make you work together, but the FCC's managed to do something we haven't been able to do over the past few years, and that is get the rural industry together. And NECA has facilitated meetings with OPASTCO, NTCA, WTA. We've brought in the Rural Alliance. The Rural Alliance, you know, was something that was formed several years ago. They actually still have Glenn Brown working very closely with them, and you know, some of those extra things that we can do to maybe utilize things, PowerPoints, letters to the editor, you know, in drafting those and getting those out to our membership. But in speaking with one voice, I think, you know, we filed a set of comments in the first NPRM to talk about rate of return regulation and universal service. I think they were like close to 140 pages, and probably one of the best sets of comments that I've ever seen in the rural industry file. So those three associations working together and actually using everyone and utilizing everybody's talents has been a really great thing.
And there's a lot of resources on the OPASTCO webpage you were mentioning in your keynote.
Yes, there are. That's where you can find PowerPoints that you can give to your employees that perhaps are a little bit more in depth and talk about things that your employees know about. But there's also high-level ones. If you want to talk to your Rotary or your local Farm Bureau or your local Lions Club, there are very high-level, sort of big picture type of PowerPoints that you can utilize. There's also, like I said, letters to the editor that you can send to your local paper, and letters for your congressional delegation that sort of outline some of these bigger issues that we have going on. So it's a great resource. It's just go to OPASTCO's homepage and just click on the National Broadband Planning section, and it's got a whole section there for you.
Okay, super. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be able to entertain some questions from, I guess 2 days from now, from Chairman Jim Janikowski. Any question you'd have for him?
You know, Ken, what we've been told is that the chairman is going to talk for 15 to 20 minutes and not take questions, okay, which will be interesting. I'm not sure that he will get out of there without any questions. We'll see how that goes. But, you know, one of the biggest questions that we have is why aren't you working a little bit closer with us? You know, his office unfortunately has not entertained very many meetings with the rural industry. However, he has made his staff very readily available, so we've spent a lot of time with the staff, whether that's Carol Maddie or the Wireline Competition Bureau. So we've definitely had a voice, I think, in shaping the broadband plan as it goes forward. But hopefully the chairman is here to give us some good news. We'll see.
That's great. We'll look forward to that, and I appreciate your time today.
Thanks.